class, the first thing you need to do is you need to go to A plus students.com. Okay. After that, you need to select maths as your subject because we're having a mathematics class. You click on maths. The subject would be math. Okay. We are doing a class for grade 4. You select your grade level. Okay. In maths, you select your grade level, grade 4. Then we go to the topic. And the topic for today is multiplication. Okay. So multiplication is basically chapter number 9. So we go to multiplication. This is chapter number 9. Okay. Once we are in the chapter number 9, we will move on to our lesson. And the lesson for today is lesson number 15. Okay. Multiplying numbers ending in 0 and the word problems. So we have a lesson number 15, and the name of the lesson is multiply numbers ending in zeros. Okay. And today we will be doing word problems. We will look at the possible questions. Okay. So once we are in this, let's start off with this. Okay. So we begin with the first question. Okay. A school owns, I'll just screenshot, I'll post the question. That's much more unique. The first question we have is, the question says that a school owns 70 buses. Okay, we'll copy the question over here so that it's easier for us. We are doing question number 1. And the questions, our requirement would be, okay. A school owns 70 buses. There are 200 seats on each bus, right? So what we need to do is we need to simplify. So that means for 70 buses, each bus has 200 seats. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to multiply 70 multiply by 200. Okay. To find the total number of seats. What we can do is we can count the number of zeros. How many zeros are there? 1 zeros, 2 zeros. That means the total of number of zeros would be 3 zeros. Okay. We remove the zeros and we take the numbers. When we multiply, 7 is multiplied by 2. The answer comes out to be 7 multiplied by 2 is? Hi everyone. Let's continue with the question. The first question was, a school owns 70 buses. There are 200 seats on each bus, right? We need to find the total number of seats. So we need to multiply 70 multiplied by 200. So when we are multiplying 70, 70 has a 0 at the end. And the topic is the numbers ending with zeros. So 70 has 1 0. 200 has 2 zeros. So we count the number of zeros first. There are a total of 3 zeros. Okay. 7 multiplied by 2 is 14, and we bring down these 3 zeros. That means 14,000. Therefore, the answer would be there are 14,000 seats on the buses, right? Okay. If you have the same answer, let's move on to the next one. Okay. A souvenir factory puts 3,000. It's talking about a souvenir factory. We did similar questions in the last class, but these questions may have different values to it. Okay, they might have different numerical values. Numerical values means they might have different numbers over here. Okay, if we pick this up. Okay, the souvenir factory puts 3,000 souvenirs keychains in each crate. How many keychains will be there in 2 crates? So we need to find the total number of keychains, right? So in order to find the total number of keychains, what we need to do is we need to multiply 3,000 by, we multiply 3,000 is multiplied by 2, right? 3,000 is multiplied by 2. So when we need to multiply 3,000 by 2, can we count the number of zeros? 3 zeros over here. There is no zero. That means there are total 3 zeros. Okay. So we take 3 from the 3,000 and 2 from the number of crates. When we multiply 3 multiplied by 2, it becomes 3 multiplied by 2 is 6. And we bring the number of zeros. How many zeros were there? There were 3 zeros. That means the factory will put we are using the word put because a souvenir factory puts 3,000. The factory will put 6,000 keychains in 2 crates. Okay, so we simply need to multiply the integer values, the whole numbers first, and simply add the number of zeros at the end. Let's look at the third question. Okay. Thank you so much for answering. The third question is, okay. It's talking about a cafeteria. The cafeteria at a summer camp. Okay. The cafeteria at a summer camp is given to us. We need to find how many. Okay. This is question number 3. Okay. So the question says the cafeteria at a summer camp has 100 tables. Okay. Each table has 4 seats, 4 campers on it, right? How many campers can eat in the cafeteria at the same time? So that means if there are 100 tables and each table has 4 on it, 100 tables and each has 4 campers on it. That means if we need to find the total number of campers that can eat at the same time, what we need to do is we need to multiply 100 by 4, right? 100 tables, 4 people per table. So once we start multiplying,
we can say 100 when multiplied by 4, we count the number of zeros. We have two zeros over here. That means, and 4 does not have any zeros next to it. So that means there are total two zeros. The total number of zeros is 2. Okay. We multiply the integer values. When 1 is multiplied by 4, the answer comes out to be 4, and we simply add the number of zeros. There were two zeros, right? Therefore, the statement for the answer would be the total 4, or we can say 400 campers can eat in the cafeteria at the same time. Okay. So we simply had to do 100 tables, 4 people per table. That is 100 multiplied by 4. We multiply by 1 by 4 and we count the number of zeros and we put the number of zeros in the end. Okay. Moving on to the next question, question number 4. I'll go to the next. Okay. Brendan did sit-ups. Okay. And we need to find the number of sit-ups that he did. Okay. The question says this. Brendan did the sit-ups. How many sit-ups did he do? Okay. The question says this. Okay. The question is saying that Brendan did sit-ups for 20 days in a row. There were 20 days, and each day he did 20 sit-ups per day. That means we need to find the total number of sit-ups that he did. Okay. So in order to find the total number of sit-ups, what we need to do is, if he did 20 per day and he did for 20 days, that means we need to multiply 20 by 20, because every day he was doing 20 sit-ups. So when we need to multiply 20 by 20, we can write this as 20 multiplied by 20. Let's count the number of zeros. 1 0, and this is 1. So the total number of zeros is 2 zeros. We can see there are 2 zeros. Then what we do is we multiply the numbers together. 2 multiplied by 2. What we are doing is this 2 and this 2 we multiply. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. And we copy the number of, yes, thank you so much. And we copy the number of zeros. There were 2 zeros. We write 2 zeros. That means Brendan did 400 sit-ups in 20 days. Okay, thank you. Yes, your answer is correct. Let's look at the next question. Okay. It says a game show has 8 categories. Okay. And there are points as well. Okay, let's look at question number 5. In question number 5, it says a game show has 8 categories. There are 200 points in each category. What they are asking us is how many points are there in the total in the game show. Okay, so 8 categories, 200 points per day. That means we need to multiply. What do we need to multiply? We need to multiply 8 by 200. So when we multiply 8 by 200, we can write this as 8 multiplied by 200. Let's count the number of zeros. There are 2 zeros in 200, right? The number of zeros is 2. There are 2 zeros. Okay. What we can do is 8 multiplied by 2. We multiply by 2, we multiply by 8, and 8 multiplied by 2 is, can anyone help me out? What is 8 multiplied by 2? Yes, the final answer is 1600, but 8 multiplied by 2 would be, okay, we are revising, okay, we're just revising, and we are going through this, okay. Okay, so see, step by step the questions will get difficult, okay, so we are just moving stepwise. 1600, and we put 2 zeros. Let's suppose that if these are non-zero numbers, then the questions would be difficult, right? So gradually we'll move on to that topic. Okay, that means there are 1600 points in the game show. Okay. Okay. The next one would be, okay, a gum factory makes gums 200 sticks per day. How many sticks of gum would be there in 9 days? If this is a question given to us, let's complete this. Okay. This says that how many gums will the factory make in 9 days, right? So we put it together. Okay, let's do the question. Question number 6 states, gum factory makes 2000 gums per day. And they're asking about how many in 9 days. So what we need to do is we need to multiply 2000 by 9. So when we need to multiply 2000 multiplied by 9, we count the number of zeros. We can say there are 3 zeros, and 2 multiplied by 9 was 18, and we add the 3 zeros over here. That means 18,000 gum sticks will be made by the factory in 9 days. Okay, and we need to put a comma after 3 digits. We separate by 3 digits. Very good. Thank you so much. Next is, okay, a sporting goods factory. They're talking about playground balls. We just copy this. And this is question number 7. Let's rearrange this. Okay, I would prefer keeping the questions statement separately. Okay, so the question says that a sporting goods factory puts 90 playground balls in each shipment, right? There are 90 balls in each shipment. How many playground balls will be there in 30 shipments? One shipment has 90, then 30 will have 30 multiplied by 90. So what we do is we write multiply 30 by 90, right? So let's multiply. So once we need to multiply, we say multiply 90 shipments by 90 balls by 30 shipments. That means 90 is multiplied by 30. Can we count the number of zeros? There is 1 0, there is 1 0. That means the total there are 2 zeros. So what would be 9 multiplied by 3? You wrote 16,920, right? Okay. What is 9 multiplied by 3? Just this. We don't need the final answer. Can I have 9 multiplied by 3? We already have a correct answer. Okay, someone gave the correct answer. Thank you for that. No. I'm just saying 9 multiplied by 30. 9 multiplied by 3. Okay, so we have 9 multiplied by 3. 9 times 1 is 9. 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 3 is 27. That means 9 multiplied by 3 is 27. And how many zeros were there? There were 2 zeros. So we simply add 2 zeros to it. Okay, so when we add 2 zeros to it, 9 multiplied by 3 was 27. 9 multiplied by 3. See, we had 9 multiplied by 3. We do 9 multiplied by 3, it becomes 27, right? And we had 2 zeros over here, 0 number 1 and 0 number 2. We had 2 zeros, so we simply put 2 zeros over here at the end. 27 with 2 zeros becomes 2,700. Okay, so we can say there will be 2,700 balls in 30 shipments. Okay, it's okay, not a problem. I understand you gave the correct answer previously. Okay, let's look at the next question. Okay, the next question is question number 8. Let's see what question number 8 is asking us to do. Okay, Ivan went to a grocery store, bought 100 boxes of granola bars. I'll just copy this so that we have the question over here. Okay. It says he went to the store, bought granola bars in each box, 7 bars in each box. How many granola bars did he buy altogether? Okay. So let's underline the important things. Ivan went to the grocery store and bought 100 boxes of the bars, right? There were 7 granola bars in each box. The question says, how many did he buy in the total altogether? So we can say that we need to multiply 100 by, he bought 100 boxes, 7 in each. That means 100 multiplied by 7. So we can write 100 multiplied by 7. Let's count the number of zeros. There are 2 zeros. Agreed? So if we have 2 zeros, we look at the numbers, the whole numbers. 1 multiplied by 7 is 7, and we simply put the number of zeros at the back because there were already 2 zeros over here. That means Ivan bought 700 granola bars. Agreed? Let's look at the next question. Okay, thank you. Yes, 700 is the correct answer. If we have the next question, let's see. Okay. A bread company makes 10 types of bread. Okay, if we have the question, we place the question. Question number 9 says, a bread company makes 10 types of bread. A restaurant chain orders 400 loaves of each kind of breads. If the restaurant is ordering 400 breads of each type, how many types of breads were there? There were 10 types. So what we need to do is we need to multiply 10 types by whatever, how much they ordered. So they ordered 400, right? So let's count. We can also write this as 10 multiplied by 400. Can we count the number of zeros? 1 0, 2 zeros. The total number of zeros is 3 zeros are there. The total zeros we can see is 3. So can we multiply 1 multiplied by 4? And 1 multiplied by 4 would be equal to 4. And we look at the number of zeros, they were 3. So we simply put 3 zeros and we put a comma, separator over here. That means the restaurant ordered 4,000 loaves of bread. Okay, agreed? Do we have any question over here? Oh, sure, I'll wait. Or I'll repeat again, okay? The question said a bread company makes, yes, a bread company makes 10 types of breads. The answer, yes, only 3 zeros we put at the end. Thank you. Thank you, both of you. That means 10 types of breads were there. So we multiplied 10 multiplied by 400. Yes. The first digit of 10 is 1. And the first digit of 400 is 4, right? The hundreds. So we multiply 1 multiplied by 4. The answer comes out to be 4. And we already counted the number of zeros. 10 had 1 0 and 400 had 2 zeros. So we simply add 3 zeros. That way we can say this restaurant ordered 4,000, sorry, the restaurant ordered 4,000 loaves of bread, right? Thank you. Let's move on to the next question. Okay. Let's see what else do we have in the word problems for us. Question number 10. And I hope you people did the questions from the test. Complete your test, please, so that we have a better idea of, you have a better idea of what you understand and where you're having your problems, okay? Please do the test after the class. Try doing that. We will do a few questions. The remaining you try. Okay. A grocery store mailed 2 coupons. Okay, I'll just copy this, move it down so that we can rephrase it properly. Okay. The question says this and this. Okay. A A grocery store mailed 2 coupons to each person in their town. There are 9,000 people living in the town. So the question says, how many coupons did the store mail altogether? So what we need to do is we need to multiply the number of coupons by the number of people living in the town. So we can say 2 is multiplied by 9,000. The first thing what we do is we count the number of zeros. Agreed? In 9,000 we have 3 zeros. Very good. The answer is 18,000. Thank you. So once we multiply, 2 multiplied by 9 is 18, and we put the 3 zeros. So we can say that the store mailed 18,000 coupons, okay, in all, altogether. Thank you. Yes, thank you for the answer. The next question is, at a local school, 10 students are putting up a puppet show. Okay, let's see the next question, question number 11. We have question number 11, and this is the question. Okay. Sorry. The question says that at a local school, 10 students are putting, it says 10 students are putting on a puppet show. Each student make 30 puppets for the show. How many puppets are there in all together? If there are 10 students, each student has 30. That means we need to multiply 10 by 30 because each had 30, so there were 10, so 10 multiplied by 30. So 10 multiplied by 30 means we count the number of zeros, or we can simply write over here, there were 2 zeros. This is important for us. So can we multiply? 1 multiplied by 3 is 3, and we simply bring down the number of zeros. So we can say that how many puppets are there altogether? There are 300 puppets in all, right? So what we need to do is we need to remember how many zeros are there, okay? Let's see if we have a bigger question. No, we still have same questions, and this is easy if you understood it. After this, we'll do a few questions from the test. Okay. The question says, a fast food chain purchased 70 boxes of mustard. Each box of mustard contains 100 packets of mustard, right? What they're asking us is, how many mustard packets did the fast food chain purchase in total, right? So what we need to do is we need to multiply 70 boxes by, each box has 100 packets. So we can say 70 is multiplied by 100. The total number of zeros is 3 zeros. There are total 3 zeros, right? So what we can say is 7 multiplied by 1 is 7, and you add the 3 zeros at the end. That means 7,000. fast food chain purchased 7,000, right? 7,000 packets of mustard. Okay, we're good for this. Let's try a few questions from the test. Can you please click on the test so that we are on the same question? I'll go to the test. Let's see what is the first question for us. Okay, it's loading at my end also. Okay, the test questions are good. Let's see. Okay, can you people help me out with the first question? I'll just copy it and then we'll try to find the answers. Okay, we'll say that this is option A and option B. Okay, I'll just copy it down and let's increase it in the size. Okay, the first question from the test is each boulder weighs 900 pounds. How many pounds do 3 boulders weigh? So we need to find total weight. GHT, right? So that means we multiply 900 by 3. So what should be the correct answer? Can you give me the correct answer? 2,700. And I guess you found it by 900 was multiplied by 3. Yes, your answer is correct. Thank you so much. So we count the number of zeros, 2 zeros we have. 9 multiplied by 3 is 27 with 2 zeros over here. So 2,700 is the correct answer. Thank you. Let's look at the next question. Let's click on the correct answer and see whether it's, yes, it is correct. Moving on to the next. Okay, it's a repetitive. Okay, let's see the next one. Okay, let me just copy this. Look, next question from the test says, it's a very similar question. I'll just change one value over here. The question number 2, we had the 2 options. Okay. If I would say the 2 options given are 1,600 and 1,800. I just changed this 8 to 9 categories over here. Let's see which answer would be correct, option A or option B. The game show has 9 categories, 200 points each. So what we need to do is we need to multiply 9 is multiplied by 200. So we count the number of zeros. There are 2 zeros. Agreed? So can anyone give me the answer? No, I did 9 categories. Okay, the game show has 9 categories. You did for 8 categories, right? Can you look at the screen? A game show has 9 categories, 200 points each. Can we try doing it again? There are 9 categories. Yes, option 2. See, you are giving option A as the answer because you saw 8 previously. But when I change the 8 to 9, a game show has now 9 categories in it. So what will happen is 9 was multiplied by 2. 9 multiplied by 2 is 18. And there were 2 zeros. So it depends on the number of categories also, right? If the values, so option B is the correct. Option A was correct once it was 8 categories only. But if there are 9 categories, then option B is the correct answer. Okay. Thank you. Let's go to the next one. Okay. A factory produces cookies, 2,000 packets of cookies, and there are 3 cookies in each packet. Okay. These two options we have. Let's see. Question number 3. A cookie factory produces 2,000 packets of cookies, and there are 3 cookies in each packet. So we need to find the total number of cookies. So what should it be? 5,000 or 6,000? Yes, it's 6,000. How did we find 6,000? Let's suppose this is option B, option A, 6,000. We multiply 2,000 by 3 because each packet had 3 cookies. So when we multiply 2,000 is multiplied by 3, we count the number of zeros. There were 3 zeros. So we can say that 2 multiplied by 3 is 6. And we put the 3 zeros. Thank you. Let's look at the next one. 6,000. Okay. A summer camp has 40 cabins, 20 campers. I'll just copy this so that it's more visible to us. In question number 4, the question says this. A summer camp has 40 cabins, 20 campers can sleep in each cabin. So if there is one cabin there, 20 people are sleeping. If there are 2 cabins, then 2 multiplied by 20, that is 40. But here they are saying they have 40 cabins. So option A or option B? Okay, let's look at the answer. What is the answer? Can anyone give me an answer? Can we say B? Multiply 40 multiplied by 20. That's 40 multiplied by 20. We count the number of zeros. The total number of zeros is 2 zeros. So can we say 4 multiplied by 2 is 8, and we add the 2 zeros. We put down the 2 zeros. That means option B is the correct answer. Thank you so much. Okay. Please do complete your test. The few more questions are just left in that, I think. Let me just have a look. I think a very few are left, and do those questions so that we can continue with the next. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Take care. Bye. It's okay. Any questions? Yes. Best of luck. Please do try the questions. Okay. Thank you.